All right, let's check out the Buildcraft blog, Build Crafting Evolved, written for us by the Destiny 2 dev team. Over the last few years, we've been expanding on build crafting options within Destiny 2. We want players to find fun and unique ways to embrace any given flavor of combat while expressing themselves through the power of the Guardians. The current build crafting system relies heavily on a mod library that has grown to be highly complex and at times confusing. So we're making some changes to improve it as well as other aspects of how you build your dream monster killing machine. Today, we're going to share some more details on the upcoming in-game loadouts and mod customization features and how we are evolving the build crafting experience as a whole, TLDR. Consolidation is a major theme in many of the changes you'll be seeing today. The current pre-lightfall mod system has been built piecemeal over the years and contains a lot of redundancies. The loadout system empowers Guardians to suit up for whatever task on the fly. Up to 10 slots available to save multiple loadouts. This single screen system also provides opportunities for players to create and share their loadouts with the community more easily. The mod customization screen will make managing your mods easier with them all in one place. Like the Guardian appearance screen, this screen creates an easy to reference space where you can see all your armor pieces and mods at any given time. Champion counters are being spread between artifact perks, subclass abilities, and more. Wow, okay. Updates to mods streamline the process and bring new and exciting build potential to Destiny 2. We're taking the opportunity to touch and tune every single mod in Destiny 2. We're removing energy types from mods and armor, giving players more flexibility in crafting their builds. No more switching between energy types to find the mod you want. Yes, oh my gosh, I love this already. We're reducing the pressure on armor energy by retuning armor mod costs and changing artifact perks to no longer require mod slots. We're moving from weapon type specific mods to damage type specific mods for increased flexibility in builds. Loadouts. Being able to save your loadouts and easily switch between them in-game has been a long requested feature and is arriving with Lightfall next month. We're taking the power of quickly switching between carefully crafted builds and make it available in-game. Here are some problems the team wanted to solve. Quickly swap entire sets of gear without numerous trips to the vault or having to open a second screen. Decrease time in between play sessions caused by needing to rebuild a loadout. Create ways to label loadouts for quick identification. Okay. So here's a little example of the loadout screen. Let's see. This person has a pulse rifle, a sword, or a bow, and the retrofit escapade. And then that's their armor. And you can see the mods are slotted in this build. And they have the option to equip, preview, or overwrite it. Okay. Swap icon, swap name, swap color. Wow. This looks good. I like this. Here you can see a warlock with 3 loadouts increased. Here you can see a warlock. Here you can see a warlock with 3 loadouts created of the 6 slots they have unlocked. You'll be able to unlock all 10 slots by progressing through the new Guardian ranks system. Each loadout label has an assortment of colors and icons to choose from, including Crucible, Raids, Trials, Gambit, damage types, and more. Okay, so we'll be able to identify the loadouts using the icon system that they have coming. Here's an image of the raid. Looks like a raid loadout. Subclass Stormcaller, Stormtrance, Healing Ring, Burst Glide, Chain Lightning, and then their armor and mods. All right, mods and mod customization. When Lightfall goes live, it'll be a new ball game of sorts. Things will be different, and you will have a blank slate to start cooking up new builds for future adventures. Not all current builds in Destiny 2 will be possible upon launch, but there will be a healthy offering to start with. We're also planning to expand upon build crafting options season over season. Problems the team wanted to solve. Cut down on managing mods time. Remove limitations that created confusing experiences, breaking down barriers to make build crafting fun, giving players more understandable ways to earn mods. Remove the need to wait for A to 1 to sell a specific mod you need. Retune mods to give players more forms of expression while also tamping down on areas of power. So here we have an example of the recovery mod. Looks like it's cost 4. And you see, this looks like, this is a stasis mod. I don't know what this icon is, but you see the stasis symbol is gone. The stasis symbol is gone on all of these, or the subclass symbol is gone on all of these. Our new mod customization screen is going to make creating your builds much easier, as you'll be able to see all of your currently applied mods and how they are affecting your stats on one screen. From here, you can quickly select different pieces of gear to start tinkering. You see their discipline plus 10. You see it reflected here. Okay. Very nice. There's also a tab at the top of the screen so you can switch over to see what perks and stats your current weapons have without having to switch back to your character screen. What am I, Elmer Fudd? Oh, that's convenient. So there's a tab, you don't have to go back to your character, you can just look at your weapons and adjust your perks and your mods there. Let's talk about earning mods. Historically, mods were unlocked in a variety of ways, but for the most part, you were waiting for A to 1 to have them in stock. We wanted to remove this waiting game and make all mods have a clear unlock path. All mods will be unlocked by achieving Guardian rank 6. Most players who have spent some time in the game will start out at rank 6 and instantly have all mods ready to go out of the gate. New players will unlock mods as they climb through the ranks. Look out for more info on Guardian ranks soon. Mod application details. Mod energy types are being removed, eliminating the need for 4 different versions of a given armor piece for build crafting purposes. We're also converting the combat style socket into an additional mod socket for that armor slot, helmet, gauntlet, etc. We're also reducing the energy costs of many of those mods, helping give you more opportunities to mix and match. Additionally, armor mods that previously provided benefits to weapons based on their archetype, for example, hand cannon loader, will now instead provide benefits to weapons based on their damage type. So I guess kinetic, energy, special, primary. This levels the playing field for all weapon archetypes and should make it easier to put together a powerful suite of mods to benefit multiple weapons in your loadout sharing a damage type. Or do they mean stasis, void, solar, strand, so on? That's probably more likely what they mean. But that's not all. Artifact mods are also being translated to unlockable perks. They will no longer need to be socketed, but rather unlock for the duration of the season once earned and are passively applied to your loadout. Let's read that again. Artifact mods are also being translated to unlockable perks. They will no longer need to be socketed, but rather unlock for the duration of the season once earned and are passively applied to your loadout. So once you unlock the artifact mod, you get the benefit, plain and simple. That's huge. So it probably means the artifact mods are not going to be as potent, and we're going to get some more potent, like maybe some new mods, because they're going to automatically be passively applied. I like that. No more 7 energy unstoppable grenade launcher. Exactly. So what does that mean exactly? Let's say the anti-barrier weapon of the season is pulse rifle. This change means that you'll no longer need to equip a mod for this, taking up precious space and energy. All your pulse rifles, unless they have an intrinsic champion mod, will automatically have anti-barrier applied. As you can imagine, having every single artifact mod active at the same time would be a little OP. Because of that, you won't be able to unlock them all at the same time, and will have to choose which 12 perks you have active at any given time. However, we do want to make it as easy as possible to change up your builds, so resetting the artifact will not cost anything. Oh, Just talk dirty to me. Hold on, chat. Me and Bungie got to have a private conversation. Oh, I love this. What? Oh, yes. Whoever made this decision, give him a big kiss on the forehead. What does this mean for Artifice Armor's extra Artifice mod slot? Starting in Lightfall, Artifice Armor will have a new unique mod slot that grants 3 additional points to your character's stats like strength, mobility, intellect, etc. This will help you round out your stats as you perfect your builds. So there you go. Artifice is getting a little change. It's kind of, I don't want to call it a nerf to Artifice, but it is a rework because you intrinsically apply the artifact mods. So Artifice just gives you, it's basically an extra 3 to whatever stat of your choosing. Yeah, you know, a fair trade, I'll say. But Artifice, I'll say this. I think Artifice is now less necessary. You know what I mean? It's less of a requirement for certain builds because you'll have those intrinsic perks added. And then if you want to just give yourself a stat bump, boom, you got Artifice available to you. Once you've gotten your loadout set and your mods managed, it's time to dive in. We're making some gameplay updates to complement the above changes. Game, set, match. One thing that has always played a huge part in how you set up your builds is match game. It's been pretty much a requirement that you diversify your damage types or end up facing shields that feel hopeless to break. We want to remove this restriction and allow more freedom with how you create your builds to take advantage of new element-specific mods. To reach that goal, match game is being removed from high difficulty activities, and we're making a few tweaks to how you can do damage to different types of shields. Base shield resistance to non-matching damage types across the entire game is being adjusted to 50%, similar to Gambit. And we will have some other ways for you to do some bonus damage to shields that we will tell you about before launch. This will help you synergize your perks and abilities around a single damage type rather than diluting them across several different ones. First, Bungie, you ain't slick, all right? I know what you're doing. You nerfed my retrofit escapade, and now you're trying to sweet talk me with these awesome changes. I know what you're doing, Bungie. It's working. But I just want you to know I know. We are the champions. Another thing that has a huge impact on your build are champions. We want to make how you counter champions more logical. That should also make it easier to learn how to deal with them in the first place. So while you will still have a selection of anti-champion artifact perks available to you based on your current weapon selection, we are also adding some anti-champion options to your subclasses to complement your weapons. Barrier champion, Solar Void, and Strand counter. Oh, so the champions now have a subclass counter. When using volatile rounds from your weapon, it will also pierce the barrier and stun the champion. When a player is radiant, their attacks pierce champion shields and stun them. Strand will also have a method of piercing barriers. What? Overload champions. Arc Stasis Void counter. Damaging an overload champion by triggering the jolting condition stuns the champion. Likewise, suppressing the champion stuns them as does slowing them with stasis. Unstoppable. Arc Solar Stasis and Strand. Blinding an unstoppable champion instantly stun them, encasing them in stasis and then shattering or triggering a solar ignition on them. Likewise, stun them. Strand will also include an unstoppable champion counter. Bungie, you sexy mother. Okay. Well played, Bungie. Well played, Bungie. We're not going to forget about what you did to volatile rounds in retrofit. I'm not forgetting about it, but well played. Armor charge mods. With the combat mod socket going away, many mods that once belonged to Charge with Light and Elemental Well subfamilies of mods now fall under a revamped system known as Armor Charge and move to armor slot specific sockets. The Armor Charge mechanic functions as follows. Socketing an armor mod that uses the Armor Charge system gives you access to the system. The functionality of taking charge, picking up an orb of power to gain 1 stack charge is now granted to you whenever you have any Armor Charge mod equipped. Love that. Many mods, oh wow, that frees up a slot for anybody who's using elemental or charge with light mods currently. Because normally you'd have charge with light, but it'd be no good unless you had some way to get charge with light. Now they're saying all you have to do is have one of these slotted and you automatically have that functionality. Man, Bungie's in their bag today. Holy smokes. Many mods that previously created elemental wells or gave you stacks of charge with light have been converted to instead create an orb of power. You can now hold between 0 and 3 stacks of armor charge by default, which appears as a buff in the status effects area. By socketing chest armor mods charged up, you can increase your maximum number of armor charge stacks as high as 6. Some mods provide a passive ongoing benefit while you have any stacks of armor charge. When you have one of these armor mods equipped, every 10 seconds a stack of armor charge falls off if not consumed by something else. Players can extend this decay time by socketing the extended charge mod in the class item socket. For example, Font of Wisdom in the head socket will provide a bonus gain to intellect while you have any armor charge active. Some mods consume 1, 2, 3, or all stacks of armor charge on a particular trigger, granting you an instantaneous benefit when they do. A few other mods, stacks on stacks in the leg socket, powerful friends in radiant light in the head socket, time dilation in the class item socket, etc., can modify the armor charge system for you without providing you with a specific benefit while you have armor charge. Finishers will now consume armor charges and not dip into your super energy. I love everything about this. This is a net positive. This is a massive W. This is a massive W. Elemental Wells evolved. While many of the mods that previously created or benefited from Elemental Wells are being changed to instead focus on orbs of power, some aspects of Elemental Wells aren't going away entirely. Instead of creating Elemental Wells, each subclass will now create damage type specific spawned objects. Ionic Traces for Arc. Fire Sprite for Solar. What the heck is Fire Sprite? What is Fire Sprite? Is that like a sunspot, basically? Void Breaches for Void. Stasis Shards will continue being used for stasis. And Strand will also have an object that will share more details on in the future. The ability to spawn these objects will now come from armor mods, will not come from armor mods, but from your subclass instead. For example, while the Ember of Tempering Fragment is active on Solar Hunters, it will now create a Fire Sprite when you defeat an enemy with a Solar weapon. Picking up any of these objects will grant ability energy or have other effects depending on your subclass build. For example, if you're running a Solar subclass and you have the new Ember of Mercy Fragment equipped, picking up a Fire Sprite will grant you the Restoration effect. The number of these types of interactions will be limited at launch, but we intend to add to the system moving forward. Holy cow! Balancing Act. While the main goals here were to streamline the build crafting experience, we also had to do some tuning while we were under the hood to address some of the power spikes certain build combinations created. As we said previously, we looked at every single mod and some were changed, moved to other slots, transitioned to other abilities, or removed. With the removal of armor energy type and the consolidation of mechanics into armor charge, some mods became redundant and were removed. Some ability energy gains, stat bonuses, and weapon damage bonuses from mods have been reduced, though we also added some new mods to expand your build possibilities. Not all previous builds are going to be able to be recreated one-to-one, but the system has been changed enough to open up a lot of new possibilities with new mods and ability combinations. An example of mods that aren't coming along for the ride are more mind cells, These are a relic of a different time and had already been nerfed in the past. They had a good run, but these mods will be deprecated, no longer available starting in Season 20 to make way for new options to consider when crafting your preferred combat style. Looking ahead, we've covered a lot and know there are going to be a lot of questions with so many changes on the horizon. We'll have more to say on this along with a plethora of other exciting changes coming alongside Lightfall's release next month. With a system like this, the best way to fully understand it is to get your hands on it and start tinkering. As with everything involved with supporting Destiny 2, this evolution is not an endpoint. We have plans to continue tuning and improving this system, and we'll be adding new build crafting elements to fill power gaps we didn't have a chance to get to with this release. We're excited to see what you build with this new toolbox and look forward to seeing all the new builds shared out. Bravo, Bungie. This was a massive W. I like how they just casually squeeze in, oh yeah, Warmind cells are going away at the end. But other than that, everything in this article is a dub. Huge dub even. Good stuff. Good stuff. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I have all the links to my socials in the description below. You can find me on Twitch. You can support through Patreon, or you can just subscribe here for free. But anyway, that's it for me. That's it for this article. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Until next time, peace out. I love you. Bye-bye.